Hey guys, Diamond Dave here. You already know I love settlement building in Fallout 4. Spent way too much time scrapping, decorating, and rebuilding every spot Bethesda gave us in order to restore a destroyed Commonwealth. But here's the truth. Not all settlements are created equal. Sure, some are fun playgrounds where your creativity shines, and others, honestly, they're just trash. So today, I'm counting down my top 10 worst settlement locations in the vanilla game itself. These are my personal picks after years of playing, and I'll be judging them based on build limits, terrain, size, location, and pretty much anything else I don't like about them. So break out your favorite ice-cold Nuka-Cola, hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification button as we dive in to number 10. Coming in at number 10, we have Oberland Station. And Oberland Station is one of those settlements I unlock and immediately die a little on the inside. It's literally a shack, 2 settlers, and a chunk of train track. That's it. Nothing else. The build space is stupidly small as well. We have an ugly tower which kinda looks cool from a distance, but inside the build boundaries is basically dead space. We can't meaningfully use it for much beyond a watch post, and the game itself doesn't let us scrap or expand it much in the vanilla game. Now, if we compare Oberland Station to somewhere like Red Rocket or Abernathy Farm, at least those have room to breathe, or some character to build around, or some type of pre-war lore that we can actually sink our teeth into. But Oberland? It feels like Bethesda just slapped a workbench down and called it a day. So what usually happens is, I throw down a couple of beds, maybe some more crops, some water, 1 or 2 turrets, and then I never come back here ever again. The settlers never get more than the bare minimum because honestly, it's not inspiring and it's just a waste of my time. Oberland Station is basically the fast food drive-through of settlements we pass through. We get what we need, we finish the quest, and then we just move on with our lives. Somerville Place at number 9 is the Southern Swamp Shack, and the first thing we notice is how far away it is. Really far away it is. It's buried deep in the southern part of the map, and by the time you even find it, you've probably already claimed much better settlements and actually built them into something useful. The biggest strike against Somerville is its location. It's surrounded by high-level enemies, raiders, super mutants, even creatures like the occasional Deathclaw wandering around and, pouring out of the glowing sea. If you get an attack notification, good luck fast traveling there in time to actually protect it, because settlers are usually down, or you just have to defend something that you didn't put much time into. As for the building, it's boring. Very boring. The little house they give us is nothing to write home about, and the yard is small, it's uneven. Really, there's just no personality to it, and that bothers me. If I compare that to somewhere like Sunshine Tidings Co-op or even Starlight Drive-In, Somerville just feels really empty to me. I usually just stick in some crops and some water, and a couple turrets, never come back here either. It's one of those places we have to claim just because Preston Garvey won't shut up about it, but we don't actually want it. And when you first get there, the settlers don't always want you. 10 Pines Bluff at number 8, and this is a big facepalm for me. For a lot of players, this is one of the very first settlements we are introduced to through the Minutemen questline. And in my opinion, it sets a really bad first impression. For starters, it's flat, which on the surface might sound like a good thing. But it's just dull dirt. There's nothing here but a shack, some crops, and basically ground that looks like an open sandbox. No real cool terrain, no verticality to build with, no atmosphere or lore, just a lot of mud. And then we get hit with other problems, like constant attacks. Because it's out in the open, raiders love to harass Ten Pines. And if you're early in the game, you don't really have the resources for walls, turrets, or anything else for that matter to make it worth your time. So it turns into this annoying loop of fast travel to hop in, smash some raiders, repair the crops, and then leave. Every time I build here, I think, man, I could have put this effort into anywhere else. Literally anywhere else. If we look at Ten Pines and compare it to Abernathy Farm at least has character. We talked a bit about the lore in a different video. It's got a family story and a really cool, unique farmhouse we can play with. Ten Pines Bluff? It's nothing. Nothing at all. I do the quest to shut up Preston, and then I move on with my life. Croup Manor is number 7, and this one actually hurts to put on this list, because on paper, it should be awesome. We've got a spooky haunted mansion on the coast, and it sounds like a dream location for us settlement builders, right? Well, in reality, it too is trash. First of all, we have to clear out a ridiculous number of ghouls just to even claim it. Now, normally, I'm fine with that because that's just how Fallout works. Wipe out the bad guys, wipe out the mutants, get a cool settlement, we're good. But then, when we actually use the workbench, we realize the space we have to work with is tiny. The front yard is cramped, the terrain is awkward, and there's not really much room for crops and defenses without mods. And the house itself? I was also disappointed with this one, guys. We can't scrap most of the junk inside without mods. The layout is tight and kind of annoying. And it's not really a functional living space without a ton of workarounds. It ends up being more of a giant prop than something we can actually integrate into a settlement design. Now, I've poked around with multiple builds here in the vanilla game, and every time I do, I run into the same problem. No matter what I decide to do, no matter how much time and thought I put into it, space to me feels restrictive. It feels claustrophobic. It's like Bethesda had a great idea for a settlement, and then never really pulled the trigger on it, or just abandoned it halfway through. So instead of being one of the most atmospheric build spots in the game, Croup Manor ends up on my top 10 worst settlement list. Bunker Hill is number 6, as it's one of those settlements that kind of looks awesome from the outside, but is a total letdown once we actually tried to build inside of it. The first problem, the build boundaries are absolutely terrible. You would think this massive trading hub in the middle of Boston would give us room to expand, but no. The walls, the junk piles, and even half of the buildings inside are unscrappable. These walls are atrocious, and not even Mexico would pay for them. We end up fighting against Bethesda's build restrictions more than we're actually building. And then there's the NPCs. It's already home to a bunch of traders and residents that you can't really control, and in my opinion, I could not care less about, which means they constantly get in my way of whatever design I'm trying to work on. I can't exactly bulldoze a place in the vanilla game without mods and rebuild it, because, well, I'm really just stuck working with what's already there. If we compare that to other settlements like Hangman's Alley, where you can maybe carve something out that's cool with enough patience, it just feels totally boxed in. It could have been one of the most iconic settlements in the game, but for me it's one of the most frustrating. So that's why it comes in at number 6. Also, the quests. The quests themselves aren't bad, but you know, having to fight Railroad and Synths and the Brotherhood of Steel, I don't really feel like spending a lot of time on this place because that would jeopardize my resources. Coming in at number 5 is Jamaica Plain. Now, on paper, this is one of the coolest settlements, we have in the entire game, because it's got a town square, a library, and even that famous quote-unquote treasure quest tied to it. But in practice, it's awful without mods. I did a Jamaica Plain video, which you guys should check out, where I added a Slocum's Joe and a bunch of trees, and let me tell you, it is phenomenal. But in the vanilla game, the biggest problem I find is its size. This is one of the smallest build areas in the entire game. We hit the build limit fast. We don't have a lot of space to build in, and because the environment itself is chopped up by ruined buildings and uneven terrain, it's claustrophobic before we can even put anything down. And then, of course, there's the constant attacks here. Jamaica Plain also gets attacked quite frequently. For some reason, raiders love this place, right? Probably because of the treasure quest. You'll be fast traveling in every other game day, in my experience, just to clean up another fight, and because of that, it's really hard to set up proper defenses. In fact, it's almost impossible. Now, I've seen some creative builders pull off some miracles here in the vanilla game. Shout out to them, I'm very proud of you. But for me, it's just one of those settlements in the vanilla game where I don't actually even build in. If I do, it's the bare minimum. Some turrets, some crops, maybe a couple water pumps, and that's it. I don't even put shops in here, you guys, because I never think about it again. Jamaica Plain just doesn't live up to its potential, which is really kind of sad in my opinion, and that's why it's in the bottom 5. Coming in at number 4, we have Outpost Zamonja. And from the start, it looks like it should be a big deal, right? It's a bandit camp in the woods, it's got a tall radio tower, remote location. It could come off as a solid Minuteman outpost, but the reality is very disappointing. The layout is awkward. We have some flat land at the base of the tower, but it's broken up by rocks, trees, and debris we just can't get rid of without mods. So right off the bat, we're stuck with a limited usable space. And the tower itself is pretty much just eye candy. Sure, you can slap some turrets on it, but it doesn't really add anything to the build itself. I just come here to get the magazine and then leave. Then there's the location itself. It's way out of my way. Tucked up north in a spot that doesn't really connect naturally to the rest of my settlements. Getting provisioners to come out here is kind of pointless. I almost never find myself fast traveling here unless Preston Garvey won't shut up about it. So while the name and concept sounds like it should be exciting, Outpost Zamonja ends up being one of the least satisfied places to build in for me. Without mods to expand the borders and clean it up, it's just not really worth my time. It's not. What do you guys think? Do you guys like Outpost Zamonja? Let me know in the comment section down below, because this one's kind of hit or miss for some people. I do see some people actually like this, but for myself, I can't be bothered. Coming in at number 3 is Hangman's Alley. Now, Hangman's Alley is one of those love it or hate it settlements for me in the vanilla game. And in the vanilla game, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. There are some upsides to it, though. For starters, it's in downtown Boston, so it's got a nice little location to it. You've got a wide variety of buildings you can raid and then come back and bring stuff there. It's the heart of the city, you guys. But the build area itself is tiny. It's cramped. And I can't get rid of the stuff without mods. We just can't. The alley itself is narrow, it's windy, really hard to get some really intricate designs in, and the walls are fixed. It just feels like there's not enough space to breathe. I've seen some cool builds here. And you know what? I'm really happy that people do like Hangman's Alley. In the vanilla game, I generally avoid it. Also because enemies love to spawn literally right on top of my settlers. They're raiders or gunners and the occasional super mutant wandering through the tunnel with the trucks in the back. And every time I go there, it feels like something is on fire. Like I constantly have to babysit. And because of the cramped layout, it's really hard to place the turrets down, right? We can't do that without blocking the the settlers' movement themselves, so it's kind of pointless. But don't get me wrong. Like I said before, there are some players who do insane builds here. And hats off to them, I'm very, very impressed. I've seen them turn it into towering apartment blocks or stack cityscapes. In vanilla, that's really hard to do. And I'll be honest, I don't have the patience for it. Without the place everywhere or border expansions, for me, it's misery. Hangman's Alley is more stress than fun for me as well, and I think that's very important when it comes to playing a game and especially building settlements. It should be fun. And that's why Hangman's Alley I threw down at number 3. Number 2 is probably obvious, Murkwater construction site. It's without a doubt one of the most cursed settlement locations in Fallout 4, and I don't know what Bethesda was thinking. We show up, and what do we see? It's a swamp. I'm surprised Shrek isn't here to kick us out. There's nothing else to it. Half of the buildable area is underwater, the other half is mud, and it just feels like it's just trash. Let's be honest, it's trash. The first thing we have to do is fight a Mirelurk Queen to unlock it. And again, that's Fallout. I'm fine with clearing settlements. But I like these settlements to actually be worth something after I clear it out. The kicker is, the Queen sometimes respawns again. I don't know if that's happened to you, but there's been a few vanilla games I've played where the settlement's under attack, I go back there, and the Mirelurk Queen I took out is still running around for some reason. I don't get it. So imagine investing hours into building a settlement only for that queen to keep coming back. It's annoying. The water itself is another nightmare. Most of it's radioactive, so building farms or moving settlers anywhere near it is kind of annoying. This could, on the flip side, be maybe a decent, passable Children of Adam location, but I don't know. The defenses you make too are going to be awkward because the turrets either clip into the water or they just can't get good line of sight. So whenever I do claim a Murkwater construction site, I kind of ask myself, what the hell am I doing? There's no real benefit, there's no unique resources, and I just don't always see a point unless I'm trying to do a vanilla game challenge. I suppose if you're role-playing as some type of swamp cultist like Children of Adam I mentioned earlier, I mean sure, maybe you can get away with it, but for me, Murkwater is one of the worst places I could waste my time, and that's why it's at number 2. And finally, my number 1 pick for the absolute worst settlement spot in vanilla Fallout 4 goes to Coastal Cottage. This place just sucks. That's it. I mean, I do have a script lined up, but really we can just leave it at that, right? The place is a complete disaster. The build area is tiny and half of it is filled with rubble, with the other half having a gigantic hole into it. And really, that's what Bethesda apparently did. They threw a bunch of trash on top of a mountain, they dug in a hole, and then threw in a workbench to see if we would even bother with it in the first place. Pathing for settlers is absolutely atrocious here. They can get stuck on the uneven terrain or wander off into the rocks, and getting them to go anywhere is a nightmare. I'm sure you guys have experienced that too. Defenses are also awkward because enemies can spawn in from multiple directions, and there's not much flat space to set up a proper perimeter. Compared to literally any other settlement, Coastal Cottage for me has the least going for it. No space, no lore, nothing actually useful. There's no reason for the hole to even be there. Every time I take it over, I instantly regret it. And that's usually because I forget all the problems I had the first time I took it over. If there's one settlement I could just remove from this game, it would definitely be Coastal Cottage. It would be this one. This is, in my opinion, the king of bad design. So there you have it, guys. My top 10 countdown of the worst settlements in the vanilla Fallout 4 game. From Oberland Station to Coastal Cottage, these are the ones that just drive me insane every single playthrough. But I get it. Some of you guys out there have probably built amazing creations in these spots, and if you did, hats off to you. Pat yourself on the back, I'm very proud of you. But in the vanilla, without any mods or crazy patience, for me, these 10 locations are just an absolute nightmare. But I want to hear from you. Which settlement do you think is the worst? Did I leave off a settlement you can't stand? Let me know in the comments section down below because I love seeing how my viewers rate these. And if you want to watch me actually try to fix up some of these nightmares, check out my other build videos. I use mods for them so I can make them a little bit more pretty and creative. But I do want to take the time to thank you all for watching and give a special shout out to my channel members. My channel members are viewers who support my community in a more personal way. They get access to my Discord, early access to all of my videos, as well as cool channel badges, emotes, and more. If you guys want to support the growing community, click the join button on any one of my videos. And I will catch you next time.